Between the ages of 16 and 21, you're either going to make three choices that set you up for an amazing life, or lock you down into a miserable 9 to 5 loop for the next 40 years. If you're the guy who wakes up in the morning, scrolls on his phone, fries his dopamine levels, so your motivation to go take a cold shower or eat a healthy breakfast are completely gone. You go to the gym some days. On the other days, you don't even go. But the days that you do go to the gym, you feel sluggish, weak, you don't have a good workout in. You come back from your workout, you go into the toilet and watch Pornhub for 2 hours. If you want to escape that loop, if you want to build a better life, because there's a version of you who wakes up with purpose, who wakes up, gets sunlight, eats a healthy breakfast, takes a cold shower, feels absolutely amazing. He journals, he meditates, he goes to the gym, hits PR every single session. There's a version of you who comes home to a loving girlfriend who actually respects you and wants to spend time with you. You have meaningful work and your routines are so locked in that you live life to its fullest potential. There's a version of you that exists. And if you want to achieve it, I want to show you my story and what I've been through and how you can build the perfect foundations between the ages of 16 to 21 to do the absolutely same. Avoid my mistakes and grow from them. So let's get into it. When I was at around the age of 16 to 18, I had really no direction in life. I didn't know what I was doing, I didn't know where I was going or what my end goals are. So I was drinking, smoking, spending time with people I didn't really want to. I was going down this rabbit hole. But without any doubt, I had the best physique of my life. I have the best physique between the ages of 17 to 18, and I think it's because I had zero stress, zero responsibility, and my entire day was structured for my workouts. I would eat the right way. I would focus on having enough energy to hit my workouts. I would hit my workout when it felt optimal because I had so much time. I could choose if I would like to work out at 6 a.m., if I would like to work out at 6 p.m. I didn't really have any restrictions besides school. But that's what I think is really important between those ages. Building the foundation physically and mentally by removing all the bad habits we previously had. Now, I was smoking and drinking, and I'm not promoting it, and I'm not saying that you are a horrible person for doing it, but it's not ideal. It's not the best case scenario you could be in. So, this is when I started to realize the things that are going around me. And before I go into what I did and how I can change everything, we have to understand a few frameworks. First off is consistency. Well, consistency, a lot of people think consistency is like a streak. So if I meditated for 80 days, I'm consistent. But in reality, I just had an 80-day streak. So if I would have those 80 days, but then I quit for 2 months, well, now you think I'm not consistent. And that's true, because I just had a streak. But if I would meditate for 5 days, but then take a rest for 2 days, but then meditate for 3 weeks, and then take 2 days off, 3 days off, well, that's consistency, because consistency is volume over time. So it's not about never skipping a day, it's about having an ideal balance between doing the task and not doing the task, with trying to minimize the areas where I'm not doing the tasks. That's essential consistency. It's not like once you skip one day of the gym, you are not consistent. It's like the index fund. It goes up, but sometimes it has to go down in order to go up again. So this is me going up, this is me having consistency, really going to the gym every single week, and then the regression is like me skipping 2 or 3 days and then going back into my weekly streaks. That's consistency. It's if you want to look at it as streaks as you did before, maybe I have an 80-day streak on NoFap, well then you can look at it streaks over time with a little bit of rest in between. Which brings me to the next point. Building the best physique of your life. Honestly, I without a doubt was in the best physique of my life at 16, 17, 18, those ages, and I think this is the perfect time to build the physique. Perfect time. Because you have no responsibilities, you have zero stress. The only thing that you actually have to do is go to school, which is easy. Going to school is easy. You have friends, you spend time, you don't really have to learn anything. So this is the best time to build the best physique of your life. And this physique is going to be the foundation for everything else that we do. Because now I'm glad I built that physique at 16, 17, 18 because now I don't have that much time. I'm going to work, I have other things. So building that physique at 16 to 17 years old is the best thing you can do for your life, the best ROI. Because then you go to school, and trust me, this is going to be fucking awesome because you have unlimited energy. You are so young, you're in your teenage years, you can do absolutely anything. You can sleep for 2 hours, wake up, and bench a fucking car. You don't care because you're so young, and it doesn't matter how much you sleep. But let me tell you, the feeling you get when you go to school, when you go around, and you have an amazing physique at that age, everybody looks at you with that look in their eyes where they're like, damn, I want to look like that. This is the dream physique. And you're only 17, 18. So imagine what your physique could look like at 30. That's what I'm trying to say. Building the foundations early. Now, I want to tell you a story that I was doing literally every single day at that stage. I would go to school, come back home, and then scroll on my phone in my mother's bedroom for like 2 hours because I was resting. I was looking at YouTube, I was scrolling Instagram, I was looking at bullshit essentially because I was telling myself I was resting. In reality, I was just addicted to dopamine. I would come home after not being on my phone for like those 6 hours that I'm in school, and then I would spend the next 2 hours scrolling on my phone. Now, yes, it might be maybe beneficial for my workouts because I was actually laying around and doing nothing, so I had enough energy to actually work out. But in terms of other areas of life, I don't know if that was the most optimal thing to do. And this is where I want to talk about breaking the loop of constant attention and dopamine. I installed a lot of blockers for my YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, so essentially I don't really spend time on social medias. And I went from 9 hours screen time to 3 hours screen time on social medias, with those 3 hours being purely creating content. I'm not consuming my content or other people's content, I'm creating my own content. And that's the difference that I wanted to talk about. And at this stage, maybe you don't think about it that way, but trying to disconnect from social media and trying to disconnect from all the bullshit that the algorithms are feeding you, because essentially you are fighting billion-dollar companies that want to steal your attention. So if you realize that, maybe it's much easier for you to quit. And I'm not talking never look at a YouTube video again. I'm talking just being aware that you're spending a lot of time on social medias, and maybe it will be much better if you would allow yourself to be bored for a second. If you would just go lay on the bed but without your phone, just think about things, take a nap, or do something in nature, whatever. Just try to minimize the time you spend on your phone, because the amount of time our phone steals from us is insane. We have zero attention anymore. Everything we do is we scroll on our phone. Something happens to us, we scroll on our phone. We are stressed, we scroll on our phone. So we are repeating the same cycle, and we don't even take a minute to reflect on the things that we did in our day. It's just crazy to me how easy we get distracted today. The moment we're bored, we take out our phone. And that's not really healthy because we never actually look back and see, all right, today I did this. I could have done this better. This was a really good idea. Maybe I can elaborate on this. So when we actually disconnect from our phone, when we are getting the best ideas. When you were a kid, probably didn't have a phone. And that's when you had the best ideas because you were bored. Your brain was functioning. Your brain was in its natural state. Then at around the age of 18 to 19, I decided I wanted to take a different direction in my life. And it was around when all the hustle culture was taking over the internet. Make money because you don't have time. You want to have Lambos. Then everybody was showing off Lambos on social media. Then you see all the yachts, all the women, all the houses. And I wanted the same. Me as a young guy, sorry, excuse me if I wanted it, but I wanted to have all the money in the world so that I can have girls, nice cars, big yachts, and beautiful houses. That's all I wanted because I was young and I still am, and I wanted those things. So I started to get obsessed with money. I started to look at that content, and everybody said, don't drink, don't smoke, don't watch Pornhub, wake up early, grind as a motherfucker, and create money. Make money, sorry. I can't create money. I can make money. So I did. I quit my smoking addictions. I quit my alcohol addictions. I quit Pornhub. I quit everything. And it wasn't easy, but I did because I was noticing also the bad things it was causing to my health. So I had bad acne, my cardio was dog shit, I was feeling sluggish, I had to recover for 2 days after drinking. So I didn't really enjoy it and I decided I'm going to quit. I'm not going to spend time with people I don't want to spend my time with, and I'm going to be focusing entirely on how to make money. The problem I had, and I think a lot of you guys have this too, you don't really know what career you want to pursue. If you want to do drop shipping, if you want to do content creation, SMMA, you don't really know. And I didn't know as well, so I started to do one by one. I started drop shipping, I lost money, I started faceless content creation, I started SMMA. I had a lot of different things that I tried and none of them worked. Because I also think I didn't believe this is the business that I want to go through. So let me give you a framework on how you pick the ideal career for you. When we pick a career, we're looking at all the beautiful things that it could provide with us. Drop shipping, we have insane amount of volume that we can do. We can fucking sell whatever it is. SMMA, clients will pay us $3,000 a month. I can outsource the work. We only look at the positive. But what you actually have to look at is the negative. What type of pain and suffering are you willing to go through in order to achieve the end goal? So with dropshipping, for example, you're selling a product that maybe is a scam. You don't really have a personal brand. You Nobody trusts you because you're selling bullshit on the internet. So you know that you don't actually have a reliable product that you trust in and you believe in, and you're just scamming other people. You're scamming people, essentially. With SMMA, you have to deal with clients. You have to be on call 24/7. Maybe your clients are in a different time zone, and I experienced this. I was awake till 2 a.m. just to have a basic video call with a guy in America, and it absolutely destroyed me, and I wasn't willing to do it. And I wasn't willing to be on call 24/7 just doing what he wanted me to do. So you have to look at all the bad aspects of a business. And then I came across faceless content creation, and I was like, I like content creation, but nobody knows that I'm behind it. So I didn't like it. But then I went into my own personal brand. And now I'm looking at, all right, well, people might come up to me when they recognize me. I'm like, I actually kind of like that. People might leave hate comments, but I don't really care. If anything, it just boosts the algorithm. So I was looking at all those things, and content creation seemed fucking nice. And I liked it because I can build a whole business around content creation. You can start influencing other people, you can start helping other people. So this is the business like career that I was willing to pursue. That's the first step. Now let me tell you a story on how I started doing business, which is the completely wrong way to do it. I started off by doing dropshipping because it was hot at that time. Ecom was at the very top of making money as a young guy. So I started to do the ecom with a friend, actually. We tested around 6 products, all of them flopped. I lost $500, $600 with my friend, and I was looking at it and I was like, fucking hell, this isn't going to work. This is too saturated. This thing is a scam. It isn't a scam, but I thought it was a scam. And I didn't like it. So I told, bro, I'm not doing this bullshit. We're spending too much money. And mind you, I'm 18, 19 years old. I don't have a lot of money in my bank account. So $500 to $600 for me, that's fucking huge, alright? I just lost half of an iPhone that I could have bought. So I was angry, I quit. Then I was like in this phase where I was like, I'm such a failure, whatever, and I'm looking at those content on YouTube again, and everybody says, hustle harder, failures are good, you have to make money now, fast, act quickly. So I was like, yeah, you're right, I'm going to start something else. And this is around the era where Brad Scales was also big on YouTube, and he started this whole freelance brand scaling thing. So I was like, freelance brand scaling, oh my god, this sounds awesome, nobody's doing it, I'm going to do that. So I go into freelance brand scaling, which essentially is like a SMMA business. And mind you, I have zero experience when it comes to making ads, marketing, whatever. And I go into this business with zero knowledge. I didn't take any courses. I watched 2 or 3 YouTube videos and I was like, I'm ready, I'm going to do this. Really delusional of me, and I think I would have much better progress if I've actually focused on building my skills up first. But I go into it, I didn't know how to pitch people. I was just spam DMing everyone on Instagram that already got 1,000 DMs that I sent because I copied the exact framework I saw from a YouTube video and I was sending that to everyone. And everyone got the same message because those video, I think that video was the most viral video on YouTube and everybody was copying the same thing, so I wasn't really standing out. But after 1,000 DMs, yes, I sent over 1,000 DMs, I started to get some real clients. I think I landed 3 or 4 clients because I learned ways to actually do outreach and I tried different things and I actually took some courses. But the problem was I have zero experience on how to sell the business. So I didn't really bring any results. I was making excuses, even though I was on call 24/7 and I was actually grinding hard to make it happen. I didn't really bring immaculate results. So a lot of people wouldn't let me out of the free week phase. I said I'm going to give you a free week. If you think you like it, we can continue, but I didn't really want to lose the client because I went through so much pain in order to get the client that I didn't want to lose them. Long story short, I had those few clients. I got a couple of $100, but I realized I didn't really like to the agency business. I didn't really like being on call 24/7. And then because I was in this whole hustle culture loophole, I started AI automation because it was hot, and again it was an agency business that I didn't like, so I quit that as well. And then I was in a really dark place. And I think all of that could have been avoided if first off I knew what business I really wanted to go in, and the second thing is if I would actually focus on building high leverage skills, on learning those skills, and then packing them up and trying to sell them. So in this phase, between the ages of 18, 19, 20, I want you to focus on building high leverage skills. I did this a year after, but if I would do that in that phase, I would be much better off selling those services. So building a high leverage skill. By high leverage skill, I mean something that you going to provide value for other people. So it might be copywriting, it might be digital marketing, it might be content creation, whatever it is, it has to be something that you can use in order to start a business. That's what I mean by high income skill. But this thing is actually a lot of like over glorified, and I think just learning anything new, learn something, like it doesn't matter, just start learning how like muscle works, protein synthesis, sleep cycles, testosterone levels, fucking what is money, how does banking work, how does tax work. Start learning things. It doesn't really matter. Like all those people are selling those. You have to start learning high leverage, high skilled, high value skills. It doesn't matter because essentially, yes, you do have to learn them, but learn something. You're young, just start learning about things. And once you know a lot of things, you're going to be surprised how easy it is to start monetizing those things. Like it's much easier to talk about certain things if you know that topic deeply. So just start learning things. And this is also the stage, and you're not going to hear a lot of people do this, but I want you to connect with women. And I did this and it helped me a lot. Like I'm telling you, if I wouldn't focus on connecting with women on this stage, today I wouldn't be so chill. Because if you don't connect with women, if you don't have any woman interaction, and I'm not telling you to find a long-term relationship, you don't have to do that. I did, and I was pretty lucky, but just connect with females. That is going to eliminate the last aspect that you're going to have later on if you don't connect with women. So just try to pick up random girls, try to talk to different girls. Don't now force things. Don't just go, oh, do you want to go on a date with me, and then ask that to 50 other women on Instagram. No, I'm telling you casual, with people that you know. Connect with them. Start having interactions. Start maybe have one night stands with somebody. Just connect with women on a level that you take away all of your lust. Now you got that out of the way, alright, I've experienced women, I experienced all those other things. Now when I turn 20, 24, I'm not going to be curious and being obsessed with women. When somebody texts me, it has to come to the point when a girl texts you, you look at it, you're like, I'll answer later. When you come to that point, that means you had enough interactions with women that your lust is at all-time low. So you're not obsessed with women on the level where you will sacrifice your business, where you will sacrifice your sanity, sacrifice your self-improvement journey just to make a woman happy. Once you do that, you are going to be set up for success because women won't control you. You are going to be, yeah, whatever. Woman, I can talk to you later. Just leave me alone. I'm working. Leave me alone. I'll talk to you later. And then one day when you feel like it, you can go out and spend time with a woman, whatever. You can actually be lucky like me and find a long-term relationship that I'm in for 3 years now. And I'm pretty happy. You don't have to do it. It's just, my recommendation is at the age of 18, 19, connect with a bunch of women and get that out of the way. Once you do that, life in your 20s will be much easier. I know a lot of people who are in their 20s, never had a woman interaction in their life, and are obsessed with women. Like, surely, I know guys that would quit their job, that would leave everything on the table just to go out with a woman. Like, he would fuck off his best friend if a woman calls him to, like, help her with the homework. He's that type of guy. So, women are the biggest destroyers of passion, obsession, and goals. So once you can control yourself and once you get the last out of the way, women are no longer a problem. A really important step. And lastly, the stage I am in right now. What the hell? Now here's another story. This is when I turned around 20. Yes, this is when I turned 20 years old. And I was so obsessed with trying to make everything work. So I tried all those businesses, I tried digital marketing, I tried dropshipping, I tried AI automation, I tried faceless content creation, and nothing seemed to have worked. And I was so stressed because I wanted money quickly. And I started to work a job, I started to work multiple jobs, I started to invest all my money, I started to trade, I started to save, and I wanted to just make more money so that I can invest more money, because at this stage I was looking at investing like the way out because of the compounding effect. And this brought me into a loophole of just trying to make money. I was so stressed to make money, and I had a friend, like my best friend, he makes good money from a job. He invests everything. He has a lot more money invested than I do. This is the problem that a lot of people might face, where you don't want to be the guy who is worse at something from somebody else. Like, I don't want to be much below my best friend when it comes to certain things, but then you have to realize that maybe even though you work perfectly together, and even though he's an expert in investing and I might be the expert in content creation, my jealousy, I wouldn't say jealousy, my need to be one-on-one with him, like the competition aspect, the competence thing, which is great. We've been competent one with another. We've been doing competitions for like over 12 years. I mean, he would do 12 pull-ups, then I would train my ass off to do 13 pull-ups, then he would pull up with 15. Like, we always had the competition aspect, and that fire inside me that I couldn't let him have more shares of Microsoft than me was the thing that actually was my downfall. I was so obsessed with making money that I started to do multiple jobs. I started to focus entirely on how I can make more money that I can push into investments. And I didn't really spend on anything else. I didn't spend money on my girlfriend. I didn't spend time on my self improvement. I didn't spend time on my physique. Like, I would go to the gym because I had to. Because I was feeling like I have to get out of the house. The worst workouts of my life were in the last 6 months. That's how bad it was, because I was so obsessed with making money. And this is where I want to tell you, do not let go of your self-improvement journey. No matter how much money you want to make, don't focus on your don't forget your fundamentals. Don't forget to stay grateful. Don't forget to meditate. You don't have to meditate, but just chill out. Don't forget to connect with yourself, to have a little bit of time for yourself, to socialize with people, to spend time in sunlight, to eat a healthy diet. Don't forget the basic things just because you're so obsessed with money. You can spend 1 to 2 hours a day focusing on yourself and then focus the other 10 on making money. But don't lose those 2 hours where you are focusing on yourself. And I lost those hours. So I decided to quit my job. I took 1 month for myself where I was just focusing on myself. I didn't really care about money. I was just trying to get back on track with my fitness, self-improvement and everything else. And that 1 month was life-changing for me. I mean, now when I go back into work, I like it. When I go work at my job, I like it. When I go to training, I hit new PRs. So everything is better once I stop neglecting my fundamentals. That's the lesson I want to spread here. Don't forget your fundamentals. And also, know where you want to be good at. Like, I want to be great at creating content, helping people, whatever. He wants to be great in investing. Now, my need to be competent, the competent side of me, wants to be better at investing than him, but also I want to be really dominant in creating content and all those aspects that come with it. Creating content, angles, editing, lighting, whatever. Realize that you can't have them both. So I'm allowing, now, this is the realization that I came through. I'm allowing him to be absolutely great at investing. And I'm focusing on my thing. At 20 years old, you will realize, if you have any masculine energy, you're going to be competent. You want to be the best. Essentially, you want to be the best at anything that you do. If you have a little bit of masculine energy in you, and you're not a fucking pussy, so you want to be the best at everything. The problem is you can't do it. If you actually want to do something great, you have to pick one lane that you are really good at, and then the other lanes can slack a little bit, but you're still good at them. So I'm letting him to take the investing niche. Take it, bro. You become the best at it. You conquer it because you will, because you are fucking awesome. Shout out to you. You know who you are. You're going to smash this thing, and I'm going to focus on content. And then when I need help with investing, I'm going to reach out to you. And when you need help with content, you're going to reach out to me. And now we create this circle. This is what this is about. Creating a circle of people who have a lot of different expertise. And now you don't have to learn from scratch. You can just take their expertise, get their knowledge that they already consumed and processed and tried and tested and analyzed, and now you take it in. Now imagine this, you're 20 years old and you have 8 different people. This one is a special guy in investing. This one knows ecom and business side of things. He knows how to get customers. This guy knows sales. This guy knows content creation. And you're surrounded with this tribe of people who know all those different things, that you now absorb all of those things. And now, even though you're specialized at that, let's say it's content, even though you're specialized at content, you now have insane knowledge in fitness because this guy gives all the fitness tips back to you. You are the guy who also knows a lot about investing, and you are spreading your portfolio of knowledge because you are surrounding yourself with the right people. And this is the stage where you have to let some people go. This is the hard part, and I didn't want to face it, but I did. There are going to be people in your life that you accumulated through high school, college, through the gym, through your trainings if you train boxing or football or wherever. You have a lot of people in your life, but you will realize that a lot of those people are not really your friends. You know them and you like to spend time with them, and maybe they have some bad habits that they are trying to lure you into, but they're not really rooting for you. They're praying for your downfall. They're maybe trying to scam you a little bit. Or they're looking at, bro, this guy is fucking so much better than me. They're jealous. And that's really taking a big hit on everything. So this is the time where you have to filter the good friends from the bad friends. And you have to understand that this one you have to push away. Like, I love you guys, but I'm on a different life path right now. I hope we can stay in touch, but I have other priorities in my life, and I hope you guys do well. I hope we can still connect with each other every now and then, but I have to focus on this. You don't have to be rude, you don't have to cut them out completely, because it's always better to grow with people. But once they realize that you don't really care, that you are on a different life path, maybe they would like to join you. Maybe they will stop the jealousy and they will stop all the other bullshit they're doing in order to be your friend. And that's when you know that you found a high quality person that you can actually take with you and grow with them together. So between the 20 to 21, you have to filter out all the bad friends. Now, after you cut out all of your bad friends, you will realize you live in a phase of life where you have to ask permission for pretty much anything. For a raise, if you can go take a walk at your job, you have to ask if you can go to the toilet in school. So you're in phase of life where you have to ask permission for everything. And this is where I'm going to tell you, you have to start building permissionless leverage. How do we do that? Permissionless leverage essentially is leverage that you build that you don't have to ask permission for. And we build that, I'm building that with investing. I'm investing all of my money into stocks, into index funds, so that I don't have to ask for permission because I have a lot of money. So I have a lot of money sitting in the market, and I don't have, first off, I don't have to ask for permission to add more money or to withdraw my money. I can do that whenever I want. So that's the first thing. The second thing, I'm building the compounding effect. Essentially, I'm storing a shit ton of money into those stocks, and they're going to compound over time, which means when I have a situation, I already have a shit ton of money saved up, so I don't really have to ask for permission. If they don't want to keep me around, I'm going to be like, peace out, guys, see ya. Because I have the foundation. Now, you can do the same thing with creating content because you don't have to ask permission to create content, and you are actually building an audience that looks at you. So, content is one thing. You can do coding. Coding is another thing. AI coding, vibe coding, whatever. So a lot of these business models and a lot of different habits that you can do daily that are pretty common are permissionless leverage builders that you don't have to ask permission for, which are going to essentially elevate your life. Because let's say with content, once you have a big audience, you can do whatever the fuck you want. Because you have now people who like you. I hope my 300 subscribers are looking at this and we're like, yeah, bro, I like you. So you have people that like you and people that will follow you wherever you go. Whether I end up on the streets, whether I'm in a big penthouse, I'm going to stay the same person, and your followers, my followers, will know that, and they're still going to like me, they're still going to watch me, they're still going to support me. So that's permissionless leverage building, because essentially I can be in whatever situation I want, and my situation with my followers is going to be similar. So permissionless leverage building. Now this is also the era where you take all those learnings that you had from me before. So between the age of 18, 19, I told you to learn a lot of different things, you remember? And this is where I learned a lot of different things. So now you're taking those things into your day-to-day life. You learned about testosterone, you learned about muscle building, you learned about how money works, how businesses work, how taxes work, how dropshipping works, how this works, this. You have this store of knowledge that you can now use. You can now start do different things. You can now start different, like, holy shit, this is a fucking, I can bounce my titties pretty fucking high. But what I'm trying to say, you can now use that knowledge and start businesses that you are actually willing to be in and start side hustles. You can use that all that knowledge to create content about that knowledge. If you were absolutely obsessing with a carnivore diet and you know everything there is about carnivore, about the scientific aspect of it, the benefits, the cons, like everything, well, now you have a topic. Since you're already obsessed with it, why not pick up the camera, stop being a lazy piece of shit, because you're already 20 years old, and not trying to make you feel better or something, but the clock is fucking ticking. Alright? We're 20, soon to be 21, And we have to start to take life by our balls because we can't live with our parents forever. Probably you're like me and you live with your parents and maybe you're thinking about moving out, but you don't know how. Well, this is how. By starting to build some leverage. You're starting to build leverage while you still have zero responsibilities. Alright? So, this phase of life, when you're 20, 21 years old, we are going to focus on permissionless leverage, so investing, coding, content, other businesses, whatever. Alright? We're going to cut out bad friends, so we're going to move everybody aside and focus on those few good friends. We are not going to get jealous about anyone, but we want to have multiple friends in different expertise or even the same expertise. You will be surprised how much you can learn from a person that's doing the same thing as you, because now you have double the brain power. Now you have two brains, two sets of eyes, so four eyes, looking at something, studying something, and combining their knowledge. So you have essentially the knowledge squared. Yeah? So building up leverage like that. And now we're going to take everything that we have learned and done between the ages of 19 to 18. So where you were learning different things, like learning, like I said, testosterone and stuff. And now we can use that to maybe create content around it. We can use that to educate other people, to inform other people. We can use that to start our own products. Like if you know everything there is about organic stuff, like organic food, supplements, whatever, you can now start your own supplement brand with the things that you know and promote it on social media or whatever. So this is the phase where we are focusing on leverage. Which brings me to the last point of this video. Don't have so much pressure on yourself to succeed at 20 years of age. We're so young. And social media and hustle culture is bullshit. Alright? It's great when it comes to working hard and having discipline, motivation, dedication, competence, consistency. That's awesome. The one thing that I don't believe in is selling the need to be a millionaire at 20. It's unrealistic. Like, it involves a shit ton of luck, and you're still young and stupid. Like, you think you know everything. I think I'm fucking smart right now doing this video. Maybe in 10 years, when I'm 30 years old, I'm going to look back and look at what the fuck, such an idiot. Like, what is he talking about? So this is the age where we are trying to figure things out. Don't put so much pressure on yourself to succeed right now. It's healthy to have a bit of pressure, just like trying to make things work, but if they don't, alright. If you're still trying to figure things out, that's completely normal. We're so young. So it's completely normal to still trying to figure things out and that you don't have everything put together yet. And I'm here right now. Like, I'm still trying to figure things out. I'm still trying to figure out the best way to put my message across, the best way to do different things. Like, I'm not obsessing. I was so obsessed with becoming a millionaire at 21 that I lost every single touch with reality. I didn't want to spend time with anyone. I was miserable. So, don't get so obsessed with making it work right now. Just be obsessed with the process of figuring it out, being better every single day, improving yourself every single day, and essentially, if you don't quit, if you put in the effort, if you show up every single day, if you are on time, and if you put 100% of you into something that you are doing, into everything that you are doing, and if you're consistent and disciplined and really know what you want out of life, you're going to get there. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of errors, a lot of failures, and a lot of different implementations throughout life. So don't get so obsessed if you are not making it work at 20 years of age. And that's pretty much it. That's the roadmap that I've been through, and maybe I could have done it a little bit better, and I told you guys how you can do it. This is my life experience and how I'm building right now. So now I'm going to turn 21 years of age, and we'll see where I will be at 25. Now I'm going to do the same steps. I'm still going to iterate things. I'm going to try different things. I'm going to improve every single day. And this is how we grow. And we are going to grow together. So let me just give you a quick recap. So at the ages of 16 to 18, focusing on removing all the bad habits, working on building the best physique possible. I built the best physique at fucking 17 and I'm fucking jealous. I want to go back. So building an amazing physique, zero responsibilities. This is where you are getting rid of all your bad habits. Like I said, you're going to build a shit ton of consistency and discipline. So we're going to try to wake up on time, trying to go and sleep on time, healthy diet, healthy habits like going into sunlight, drinking water, all the other bullshit, which is going to prep us for the years of 18, 19, where we are going to be focusing on building skills. This is the time where we can kind of isolate different friends. So we're going to build skills, isolate different friends. We're going to find the ideal career for ourselves. Like you're going to look at what suffering do I am willing to go through. So if I'm okay with scamming people and not having a really strong brand and a random ass product, you can go with dropshipping. But if you don't want to go through that pain and suffering, and maybe you don't want to go through the pain of being on call 24/7 for your agency and serving other people rather than building something yourself, and you're more of a guy who wants to build an amazing gym apparel and want to build something that people can actually wear and use every single day, and you're willing to go to the suffering of refunds, of trying different manufacturers and all that other bullshit, well then maybe this is the right business model for you. This is where you pick things. And now let me make it clear. Don't get stuck in the process of picking things. If you're not sure, just pick one thing, go in one direction, and if it doesn't work, try the different thing. Like you're sitting at the end of the road, you can go right or left, you don't know where to go, your GPS is broken. Where do you go? Well, you're not going to stand there. You're not going to stay in the car and don't move for like a month. No, you're going to pick a way. You're going to go right. You go, you look out the window, you see, all right, this is the wrong way. You turn around and then you go left. You're not going to sit there, like, stop the car, handbrake on, alright, where the fuck do I go? There's a line of cars behind you, and you're just sitting there like, where the fuck do I go? No. If you're not sure, pick a thing. Pick a thing. I picked 6 different things before I found what I like. Before I found what I enjoyed. And I might add different things, and I might pivot. I might do this. I don't care. I'm just fucking obsessed with trying. Like, people who don't succeed, people who make excuses, are obsessed with information. They're obsessed with information. The best video, the best business model, the best way to make money, 10K, bang, 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 information. Bullshit! People who make things happen are obsessed with execution. No matter if you fail, no matter if you succeed, no matter if it works. Execution. Bang, bang, bang. Get things done. That's the thing that you have to do. If you're sitting on a road, know where you go. Pick a side. Don't give a fuck. I'm going to go there. I'm going to try. Doesn't work. Okay, fuck it. Other way. Bang. Doesn't work. Alright, other way. Try different things. Write down a piece of paper and know what you want, what you don't want. If you have 5 things you don't want to go through, like 5 business models you don't want to suffer through, right, fuck them. You have a list of 3 things that you want to do. Can't pick. Fucking too hard. You are not sure, and maybe with some guidance you could have picked some, but you don't have it, and you don't want to pay thousands of dollars for mentorship, well, look at it, be like, alright, I'm going to start with this, I'm going to pick this one. You're going to do it, alright, maybe it's not so sunshine and rainbows like I thought. I'm going to pick this other one. Pick the other one, bang. Try this one, alright, maybe it works, alright, this one is fucking awesome. Do this one. Grow in it. Maybe when you grow with that business, you can actually try the third one. You can be like, alright, let me try this one as well. Let me try a little bit out of this one. You might like it, you might not. Just pick a side. And then we go into phase number 3. Building permissionless leverage, getting rid of people, stop being jealous out of people that are better than you, and actually start learning from them, and stop being fucking arrogant, and being like, no, I tried this, I did this. No, listen to them because they know more than you. So take that and actually improve in your life. Now, this is the era where you can actually start to do mentorships, where you can start building different things. This is the moment of life where you experiment. But the biggest message from this era of life, between the ages of 20, 21, and going forward, is don't lose the foundations that you've built at phase one. Because me, I lost them and I went into a dark place I don't want anyone to fall into. So, if you build the foundations of waking up early, gratitude, meditating, sunlight, gym, bang, 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 different things, stick with that. Have that in there. Have that in your pocket. Don't throw it away. Don't throw it away and focus on money. That's bullshit. Have this, combine them together. Going to have a beautiful life. Don't sacrifice yourself for just money. You're going to sacrifice a little bit, but you're not going to sacrifice everything. Because once you lose the touch with yourself, it's done. You have to reset. And I had to, and I hope you guys don't fall into the same trap that I did. And that's it for this video. That's my roadmap on how I would relive my life from 16 to 21 years old. So this is the roadmap that I will lay out for myself if I could right now to go from 16 to the version of myself at 20 with much better results. Guys, not a big ask, but if you enjoyed the content, if you like me, and if you like the message that I'm spreading, and if you want to be part of the community, I would really fucking appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching, and I hope you guys are starting to actually work on the things that I talked about in this video. So no matter what age you are, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, it's never too late to start. Don't think that because I gave that advice for 16 years old, like where you have to improve yourself, and if you're 18, that you're too late. You can still do it. Maybe even better because you're more mature. Thank you guys for watching, and I catch you guys in the next one. Work hard.